welcome back to the Premier League predictions and preview show. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. So the first game is 12:30 kickoff between struggling Southampton and Chelsea. Southampton have won just one of their last 5 games. The win coming against Wigan in the FA Cup 2-0. In the other 5 games, they've lost 3 and drawn 1 against Stoke. In the last 2 games, they've conceded 6 goals. 3-0 against West Ham and then 3-0 against Arsenal. Chelsea have been in poor form as well. They drew their last game against struggling West Ham 1-1. They lost to Tottenham at home 3-1. They beat Leicester 2-1 after extra time in the FA Cup. Losing to Barcelona in the Champions League 3-0 and beat Crystal Palace 2-1 at home. I think this is going to be a tight one. I'm not really sure how it's going to go, but I don't think there'll be many goals. Southampton are desperate for a win, and they did show signs of life against Arsenal. And Chelsea are desperate for a win. They haven't won in the league since the 10th of March, so over a month ago. They're desperate for a win. I think this will end 1-1 or 0-0. I'm going to go for 1 apiece. Let me know your thoughts down below on this game. Next game is Burnley versus Leicester. Burnley have been in brilliant form. They've won their last 4 games in a row against Watford, West Brom, West Ham and Everton. So they've picked up a maximum of 12 points from their last 12, which is a really good return from Sean Dyche's side. Leicester, on the other hand, they've won 2, lost 2 and drawn 1 of their games. Wins coming against Brighton and West Brom. So Leicester have been up and down in form lately under Claude Puel. They are certainly way safe from the relegation zone. But I think Burnley will continue to win, and I think they'll win this one 2-0. And they'll try to push for that final Europa League spot. 2-0 Burnley. In the M23 derby, Crystal Palace host Brighton and Hove Albion. In the last game, it finished 0-0, but there was lots of trouble in and outside of the ground. Crystal Palace have won just once of their last 5 games. The win coming against Huddersfield. The drew after a last-minute equaliser from Bournemouth, 2-2 at the Vitality Stadium. Brighton have won just one of their last 5 games, drawing one of those against Huddersfield, but their last win did come against Arsenal. I think Crystal Palace will pick up the win here, 2 or 3-1. It should be a really, really big 3 points for Roy Hodgson's side, especially if Southampton fail to win. They could really put distance between themselves and Southampton. So currently they're 3 points clear. But if results went their way, even if Southampton were to draw, they would then be 5 points clear if they drew and Crystal Palace won with that game in hand. Another huge game for one of the teams down the bottom. Huddersfield take on Watford. So Huddersfield have been in terrible form. They picked up just 2 points from their last 5 games. A draw against Brighton away and a draw against Swansea at home. Watford have won 1 game of their last 5, beating West Brom at home 1-0. In the last 2 away games, they've shipped 8 goals, but that was against Liverpool with Mohamed Salah bagging 4, and Arsenal, which they lost 3-0. It's going to be a massive game for Huddersfield. If Huddersfield win and Southampton lose or draw, it's a very similar situation. They could go 6 points clear or 7 points clear if they, so that's a massive, massive gap. And that is something that David Wagner's side are going to be looking to do. And I think they will do. I think they will beat Watford. I think it'll be close, maybe 1-0. Swansea host Everton in the last 3 o'clock fixture. Swansea have only won 1 of their last 5 games. However, they have only lost twice. But those losses coming at Manchester United away and Spurs at home. And that was in the FA Cup. So that's pretty good form considering for Swansea. They've been doing really well under Carlos Carvalhal. They'll be looking to escape the drop It's definitely a winnable game against an Everton side who have been up and down in form. They've won 2 of their last 5 games. Their away form hasn't been the best. Swansea will definitely be looking for a win, but I think this might go down as a draw. I'll go 0-0. The 5:30 Saturday night fixture is Liverpool hosting Bournemouth. Liverpool have won 4 of their last 5 games, including 2 wins against Premier League champions nearly Manchester City. They have also hammered Watford in that time. Bournemouth have also been in very good form, losing just one of their last 5 games, drawing against Watford, Crystal Palace and Leicester. Some really good games these two have put on. Liverpool went to the Vitality Stadium 1-1, 4-0 last time. Last season, Bournemouth went to Anfield and drew 2-2, as well as coming from behind to win at the Vitality Stadium 4-3 with a late winner from Nathan Ake. I think Liverpool will win this, maybe 2-3-0, but they will be looking forward to the Champions League. And something very strange, I guess. There is a 7:45 kickoff on Saturday night, so don't miss it. It looks like this, I'm not sure why this is, but it could be because of the Champions League. I mean, I don't really know why, but it must be to do with something to do with the Champions League. Or maybe it's something to do with, there are Premier League games next week, so maybe it's something to do with that. But Tottenham are hosting Manchester City. Tottenham are in great form, winning their last 4 of their last 5 games. So that only loss was against Juventus when they went 1-0 up but failed to get the victory. They've beaten Stoke, Swansea, Bournemouth and of course Chelsea. City have lost all of their last 3 games against Liverpool and Manchester United. So Manchester City are desperate to get a bit of form back. I mean, it's been awful for Pep Guardiola's team, and I just am struggling to see how they can beat this Tottenham side. I think they could, with Harry Kane back, it could be a tight one. I'd certainly at this point, as a Manchester City fan, take one apiece, because I just want to stop the rot of the losses. Tottenham are a very good side. I'd certainly take anything but a defeat right now, and it will help us gain the title. On to Sunday now, and the first game is kicking off at 1:30, and it's Newcastle United against Arsenal. Newcastle have been in brilliant form, winning their last 3 games against Southampton, Huddersfield and Leicester. Arsenal have been in also very fine form, winning 4 of their last 5 games, with wins in the Europa League against CSKA Moscow and AC Milan. Newcastle have been in very, very good form, and they beat Manchester United recently at St James's Park, and there's no reason why they can't do that again. It's not like Arsenal have anything to play for. They've really sort of honed it in there, just looking to win the Europa League. But if you've seen my other video, you'll notice it's going to be a very hard job against Atletico Madrid. It is going to be a tough game for both sides, but I think that it will probably end 2 apiece. I can't really pick a winner here. I think that Newcastle have been in such good form since January, and Arsenal don't really have a lot to play for. So I'll go 2-2. And next is Manchester United against West Brom. So Manchester United had a great victory on Saturday against Manchester City. They've also beaten Swansea, Brighton and Liverpool in their last 4 or 5 games. And they will be looking to hammer this West Brom side. This West Brom side have picked up 1 point from 9. They've been really poor. They sacked Alan Pardew. This could be a huge scoreline. I'll probably go 4-0. Manchester United don't really have much to play for besides the FA Cup. They seem to have settled, seem to have wrapped up second, so I don't think anyone's going to catch them now. So I'll go 4-0 to Manchester United. The final game is on Monday night. West Ham host Stoke in a massive, massive game. Stoke are currently 3 points adrift from Crystal Palace, but that could be with the games Crystal Palace have got against Brighton, with the game that Huddersfield have got against Watford, it could be even more. So Stoke need to go to the London Stadium and beat West Ham. They have no choice. They've got to beat West Ham, or it'll be too much. It'll be too far. They need to go and get a result here. It's really, really important that Paul Lambert gets a victory here, or they will simply go. And I can't see them doing that. I can't see them getting a victory. They've been very poor, and it's not a good situation that they find themselves in with just 6 games to go, being 3 points adrift. But they've won just 1 game under Paul Lambert. 1 game, and it's not been good enough from them. They've picked up loads of draws and they haven't been conceding as many goals, but they need to start scoring goals. West Ham have been doing a lot better under David Moyes. 3 straight defeats. They've picked up 4 points from their last 2 games, being Southampton 3-0 and also getting a draw at Chelsea on Sunday. I just can't see past West Ham winning this one. I think it'll be 2-0. I can't even see Stoke scoring. And Stoke have got to win, or they will just simply be cut adrift. So, I'll go 2-0 West Ham. And that is the final game of the weekend. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. It really means a lot to me. Subscribe if you're new. Like this video if you enjoyed it. I am Mike, and I will see you soon.